My name's Sean Williams. I'm from Beaufort, South Carolina. I paint both large and small scales, doing murals and then doing canvases and everything in between. And I also do metalwork and do some woodwork as well. I don't think I really knew that I wanted to be an artist until college or shortly after. The first couple canvases I painted, I had no idea what I was doing, what I wanted to do, where I was going with it. It was just fun and experimental. It was successful. It looked good. Right away I realized I can do this. The beginning process for a piece of art is a lot of brainstorming, trying to get the main point, the main subject matter, and then from there it's just refining, pinning it down, weeding out things that aren't necessary, and following that path to, and it's also important to let the piece evolve itself. I like to paint outside. I like the murals, being physical, climbing around on ladders. I like the kinetic side of it. Being outdoors tends to give me energy. You're more encompassed by the piece. You know, it's larger than you are. It's got a textured surface. I find that more interesting. But then again, some of the most magical, meaningful moments are in the late hours of the night, by yourself, listening to, you know, your favorite jazz song and really surprising yourself. And whether the painting looks good or not, you know, you have kind of special moments. But I think the best pieces are improvised and accidental, things that come very naturally. Sometimes you feel like that what you're creating isn't all you, that there's something else behind it that's creating this, because you're not doing exactly what you planned on doing. It's hard to step away from the art. You step away either when it's driven you completely mad and you can't deal with it anymore, or anything you do to the piece is going to detract from it. The freedom is one of the greatest things about being an artist. And work whenever you want. It becomes more of a lifestyle than a career or job. I think more recently I've found that the most difficult thing about being an artist is just spending so much time by yourself, trying to figure out a puzzle you're not quite sure of, with no definitive end in sight. Evolution is a major theme, I think, in my art. You know, looking at patterns in nature and the universe and things that Darwin studied, you know, there seems to be a branching network at the core of all systems. Similar shapes to rivers, to blood vessels, to the way stars are spread out in the universe. These are patterns that I use in my paintings. I think time's a big element in my art. To take a piece with a definitive idea in mind and then just working it and rework it, it starts to take on its own nature and evolve. And a lot of that I find parallels with the rivers and how they choose their path and find their path of least resistance. I think that's how an artist should be. With the metalwork, using a material that's so hard and heavy and hard to manipulate, and by using heat, extreme heat, making it organic and soft and bendable, and then it goes back into this rigid, heavy state again. I guess different technology to do some pretty crazy things at the molecular level. Working with different mediums teaches you about other mediums as well. Like working with sculpture will teach you how to draw. Working in sculpture, it's become very important with me. Both the kinetic part of making it, and you know, this being such a physical process that your sweat and blood is into, makes it more meaningful, but it just has such more of a tangible, realistic presence about it rather than being a two-dimensional piece on a wall. It seems to be more real. I think the creative process is both an addiction and it's kind of haunting too. You can't ignore it. Once you open it up and start exploring your mind, exploring the outside world, there's just so much to look at. You can get overwhelmed by, where do I begin? What do I do? There's a lot of questions to be asked. I think just taking one thing at a time and just start somewhere, just start with one step and explore it. That will take you somewhere else. No, I can't imagine life without being involved in art. I can't imagine. I don't know what I would do. It's just a bug you get. I think so. I mean, it's something I think once you get it, you can't let go of or ignore or leave.